Hey, all you pilgrims on the Ascension journey. Hey, today I wanted to read from Alchemical Wizard 29, Nutrigenomics, the benefits of DNA testing. Some of these companies, a lot of them, I'll read into it, but they say that they keep your, your blood, your test, your saliva and stuff private. So if you're worried about that, but depends on if you want to do it or not. But what's really cool when I start reading about this is that it can really get into the DNA and really, you know how there's certain like people with different blood types, right? How like more of a meat eater type of that needs that kind of protein, and then there's people that can totally, do a few things with their plant-based diet and get and be, healthy, right? So that's why I want to read about this, because this is the new area that we're getting into, right? About the into the, I want to combine it with the, the vibrational medicine, right? All these different modalities that we're getting into about the frequencies, right? And the higher frequency, high frequency exercise, high frequency eating, high frequency, lifestyle, less stress, higher frequency, right? So I wanted to get into nutrigenomics, nutritional genetics, nutritional epigenetics. So, because these can actually, when you get like the 23andMe or one of those done, they can, there's some other health ones in here. They can give you like, oh, your cholesterol, this and such, and you should probably be eating these foods, right? We're really getting down to the DNA here. So that's why I wanted to, throw this information and some of this inspiration for you guys to do your own research, of course, into this. Let's read, because I will just keep talking forever, right? Okay, Alchemical Wizard 29, Nutrigenomics, the benefits of DNA testing. While still considered an emerging science, nutritional genomics or nutrigenomics is already transforming how we eat and how doctors, nutritionists, and health coaches recommend diets. Simply put, gone are the days of a one-size-fits-all diet. Yeah. Nutrigenomics helps us understand how our genes and what we eat interact with each other. Let us take into consideration that we really are what we eat and when we eat it. Food or fuel for the body is medicine, okay? Nutrigenomics is the study and branch of genetic research of how foods affect our genes and how in return genetic variations affect the way we react to nutrients in foods. Some of us have more, let's say, came from maybe even our parents or something, they ate more fish, let's say, like in the Japanese or the Asian cultures, right, on the coasts. So there's different, that's what I'm trying to say, is there's different, what am I trying to say? Let's say there's more nutrient-rich omegas in someone's genes, actually, right? So they might not need that. Anyways, let's just read on. We all have 3 billion DNA pairs living within our 23 pairs of chromosomes. While 98% of our genes are all the same, our protein-coded genes comprise of around 2% of our genome. It's this small part known as the exome that contains the genes that define our unique traits such as lactose sensitivity, lean muscle, or curly hair. These genes instruct our amino acid arrangements for proteins that create our traits, okay? So, and then plus we're reigniting our potential DNA right now because we're in a higher vibration part of space, actually, and that's happening, right? And so those are coming back online, the 4th and 5th strand DNA. Anyways, so perhaps this could help, right? If we do some genetic testing on ourselves, it's just saliva that you send in and stuff. Anyways, let's just read. So while we all have the same genes, did I read this part? No. While we also have the same genes, we each have genetic variants that can impact what we look like, what we're allergic to, and what our bodies need to thrive. Through the studies of the human genome, researchers and scientists have discovered that different people respond in different ways to different diets because the variations in our DNA can have a significant impact on our metabolic efficiency. How or what causes us to lose or gain weight, and much, much more. Nutrigenomics can reveal a number of health-related issues that can help you better understand what fuels your biological body and what doesn't. For example, nutrigenomics can help you understand if you're lactose or gluten intolerant, what kind of diet can help you manage your weight, and how your body processes nutrients. By determining a diet that aligns with your genetic variants and biological body needs, you may find it easier to manage your weight and feel better from what you do eat and when you eat it. Because we've talked about intermittent fasting and liquid intermittent fasting and, fasting. Where were we? Okay, feel better about what you eat. For example, if you didn't know you were gluten intolerant, you may not, gluten's in like rice too, or it's not just, it's what everybody talks about. They talk about the wheat gluten, because wheat, when they started transporting it and stuff, they took out the wheat germ and the bran, and they basically took out the nutrients that you wanted, like from the old school, from kamut, back in the Egyptian days, when that cousin stock wheat, right? But when they shipped it and they do all this bleaching and all that and stuff, and it gets into it's just basically a gluten that lines your intestinal walls. So, and then you can't absorb other nutrients. And plus there's a whole bunch of things about that too, that the researchers are finding out that it gets in your brain and all that. By determining the giant variants bodies need, you find it easier to manage your weight and feel better. For example, if you didn't know that gluten intolerant, you may not realize that those lethargic feelings and bloating were a result of the bread that you were eating at lunch. Or nutrigenomics may help you determine that you need to eat more healthy fats in your diet, reduce your carbohydrate intake, or eat more foods rich in particular vitamin. With a comprehensive view of your biological body's needs, you can ensure you choose the right foods that help you feel energized and healthy and full, right? Like for me, for an example, since going from about 85 into semi-vegetarian and then slowly moving into that semi-vegetarian, vegetarian, and then ovo-lacto-vegetarian, whatever, and then into kind of a vegan, and that kind of a long years of that. And then it depends on what elevation I'm at too, because I ate more eggs and chicken when I lived in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and when I was up in the Andes in Peru, I ate more those type of proteins in that higher elevation for my biological body, because I felt better when I was doing that. But when I'm at sea level, I can pretty much do the fermented foods, I can do the sprouted tofu, and all of that. I don't know why I was talking about that. Anyways, let's move on. Most health coaches, most holistic health coaches, Ascension health coaches, Travis Coppa, Ascension health coach, I forgot to say that. Anyways, most health coaches will tell you that staying fit and at a healthy weight is only 20% exercise and 80% diet. You are what you eat. And food is medicine. We just don't eat as much of like from the herbal garden, right? or wild foods anymore. So we're lacking, a lot of us are lacking in nutrients. That's why we have to take so many vitamins and supplements, which is weird because you have to really dig into the labels of that too. Because it's going to get more popular and it's going to be harder to decipher. That's why I'm writing so many of these blogs too, to try to dig into some of the research or give you at least an inspiration to lead you into some more of your own research, because not all supplements and vitamins and that those healthy brands of foods are what they say they are. Anyways, let's move on. Regardless of how much you exercise, your diet plays a key role in your weight and your health, including your risk for type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, cholesterol, heart disease, and cancer. While we may know we need to eat plenty of fruits and vegetables per day and limit our fried food intake, a well-calibrated diet goes far beyond general recommendations. Without taking a deep dive into your biological body's genetic variants and current health, you may not realize you're lacking in a particular nutrient or consuming too much protein and not enough carbohydrates. Today, the power of nutrigenomics can be used by just about anyone with DNA tests, which includes diet guidelines. These tests look at several factors, including our eating behaviors, our food reactions, to learn how our biological body reacts to common foods, to understand if we may be lactose intolerant, experience alcohol flush, and more. Our matching diets to learn the genetic diet type, including our response to the monosaturated and polyunsaturated fats and omega-3 and omega-6 levels. The next blog that I wrote is on omegas. So we'll try to get to that too. Check that out, actually. I mean, just, some people just like to read because you can take a lot longer too. Anyways, instead of the videos. Our nutritional needs to figure out which vitamins and supplements we need to optimize with. Our metabolic health to discover how our diet affects our cholesterol, including if we're at risk for decreased HDL cholesterol, elevated blood sugar, elevated LDL cholesterol, or elevated triglycerides. These tests help you uncover, our personalized genetic nutrition profile, including the ratio of carbs, proteins, and fats for your biological body, as well as how to make proactive decisions regarding diet, exercise, and lifestyle based on DNA. These DNA tests also give us insights into our genetic predisposition for exercise to get the most benefit from endurance and strength training. We've talked about that. Endurance, aerobic. Here are some of the companies giving health options or more preventative health services, bangs for our buck. So here I'm just going to read off a few of the health services. The DNA Fit one, right? The guy, what is his name? The guy the tech guy or something. And anyways, and then he does bulletproof coffee and all that. Anyways, he does the DNA Fit one. Genetic diet and fitness reports. Your own personal health coach, the DNA Fit app with live chat support, genetically matched training programs, personalized meals and recipes. 2 options, Diet Fit and Health Fit. And if you have like the 23andMe or an Ancestry DNA that's already done, you send in your saliva. And if you already have that report, you can just send in the report and get a $60 discount for the DNA Fit. Okay, also DNA Fit adheres to the UK Data Protection Act of 2018. If you're into it, real deep into the, I hate to say truth instead of conspiracy. There's plasma centers, and we don't know what they actually do with our blood, and they're people trying to find our blood types because we come from long lineages, weird stuff. Anyways, let's just move on to this little DNA testing for our for our nutritional epigenetics or our nutrigenomics, right? So that we can get a better idea of what kind of nutritional needs that we need, because sometimes our biological body is just sick just because of the fact, well, you're lacking, let's say, spore probiotics, you're not getting enough bacteria from your foods because you're just eating packaged foods, let's say. So your health is deteriorating. There's just certain things that you can look into after you get to the test, and if you send it into the health ones, right? That you can discover for yourself. It's kind of fascinating, actually. I mean, it's a fascinating new field, new frontier, man. Just 23andMe. 23andMe has 3 options. 2 of the health options: health and ancestry, and the VIP health and ancestry. Their genetic health risk. I'm trying to. Somebody's yelling over there. Carrier reports FDA criteria being significantly and clinically valid. All saliva samples are processed and certified. So they're saying that they are, let's see, so they have a couple of different health ones too, 23andMe. Their individual data, federal law, it's protected. Okay, so 23andMe has 2 options for the health options. Let's move on. VitaGene. VitaGene has 3 options, being health and ancestry DNA tests and reports, and premium plus supplements plan. So it depends on how much money you want to spend into it. Usually, if you can do one of the cheaper ones, if you can do like the 23andMe or Ancestor and get that report cheap, and then send that report to one of the health people like VitaGene, right? So these guys get into it too. They get into the optimal diet, exercise, and supplementation too on their health reports. Pretty cool. And then there's, looks like they're insured too. DNA run through our sophisticated algorithm. Your unique health traits are then mapped. The diet, nutrition, exercise, supplementation. So what was that? VitaGene. VitaGene's a pretty good one too. But here's my favorite. I'm going to get into my favorite one here. Found My Fitness, right? Dr. Rhonda Patrick. I don't know if you guys have seen her videos. She has 2 options for her 23andMe, the Ancestry.com DNA data, a comprehensive report, and a membership comprehensive report with lifetime updates. So you send in the 23andMe or Ancestry to her too, and then she has 2 options. She just can give you the one report, or you can be a membership, like, I can't remember, I think it's like $15 a month, but she really gets into your epigenetic health, man. I mean, she gets into it. Impact genes and what research suggests may be the most impactful nutritional and lifestyle insights specific to those genotypes. Her report includes ApoE report, a circadian report, a longevity report, a cholesterol report, a methylation report, and we did all that. We talked about methylation. We talked about the B vitamins and the different foods and supplements that you can take to try to get, we're getting down into that epigenetic methylation, so that you can hopefully get those hormones and frequencies running to get your potential DNA to come back online, okay? So that's why we're talking about all these health things, to get this biological thing and the energy centered, right? The chakras and stuff. And that's why I always give you different modalities of the energy healing, right? Like, the Reiki, or even acupuncture, or the, what was the other one? The alignment one, not the meridian line, right? I'll think of it in a second. Anyways, I'm going off. And methylation report, Found My Fitness, Dr. Rhonda Patrick. Micronutrient report, a fitness report, a telomere report, right? The telomeres on the end of the DNA, the caps, right? And a metabolism report. Also, she has an excellent YouTube channel, highly informative. Understand more about epigenetics and Nutrigenomics. So, Found My Fitness. Look her up too. So those are some of the for DNA testing to send in to get a better picture. If you really want to get down into, I mean, even if you spend a couple $100, right, to get your DNA tests and get the health reports and stuff. Honestly, I mean, I have a disclaimer underneath my YouTube videos, and hopefully I won't get pulled, but I'm telling you, instead of going to regular Western medicine doctors and to really dig down into your own health, do it yourself. And then go to all the different, I'm telling you, some of the alternative, holistic health modalities that are out there, especially all the energy ones to align your chakras up and really that's your energy, your biofield physiology, right? And that's why, you know, we talk about the circadian rhythm, we talk about the meditation, we talk about a little bit of yin yoga, we talk about the aerobic exercise, you know, however you're getting that too, for your oxygen intake. And we did an oxidative therapy blog too. So look into it if you want to. I think it's very interesting. I'm about ready to do it myself, actually. I haven't done it yet. What did I do? I did a weird blood test thing, though, in Florida right before I went to live in Lima, Peru. So and everything was just totally fantastic because I was exercising a ton and just, you know, it was crazy. So except that I wasn't getting a certain amount of collagen, and I think that's how I got, because I exercised too much without enough of that collagen on my disc. So I ruined a disc kind of, and then so the last 3 years I've been kind of helping my body regrow that. Okay, enough said about that. Yeah, energy's coming up. Okay, we're almost on the 12/12 December. The photonic energetic waves, pulsed waves coming. Where's the big one? The bigger one, I think the bigger one from my meditations and what I've come across in my research too, is it feels like it's more about the 21st, maybe a bigger wave. But you know, overall, it's overall good to, I just had a conversation at one of the health food stores here down in southern Ashland with somebody, and we're both in agreement of taking extra, like, you know, adaptogenic herbs, and we had a long conversation about immune boosting mushrooms, all of that, structured water, you guys, right? Consider drinking plenty of hydrated, nice, lovely, alkaline, filtered, structured water, you know, like artesian well, stuff that has minerals in it, and sunlight, right? Okay, so stay healthy, you guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.